movie Frozen, but instead of rocks, it's tumbleweed. Kind of interesting to see. Kind of cool.
Welcome to another segment of Carl Brick 73 Live Night Talk. Topic: the tumbleweed effect. Right? Tumbleweed, when it rolls, the debris, it just picks up everything in its path and it just keeps on tumbling, and the weed gets bigger and bigger and bigger. It's like a big ball of negative energy, right? Big ball of negative energy. And my topic tonight is, I've been having the strangest conversations with a lot of blacks, right? I've been hearing a lot of these schools of thoughts from now privileged blacks, right, rappers, and a few celebrity blacks. And the topic is how we've been reprogrammed to kill one another. We've been reprogrammed to kill one another. And it came from a white system. I would like to beg to differ. One of the conversations I had was a guy told me it's different when a black man kills a black man versus another race killing a black man. I said, well, how is it different? And he said, well, I can slap the shit out of my sister, but if you slap her, it's a problem. I can slap the shit out of my sister, but if you slap her, it's a problem. Shit, you slapping your sister is a problem, right? My grandfather grew up in Arkansas, and he picked cotton. And his name was Leroy Ford. And Leroy Ford, he never taught me to use the N-word. He never taught me to harm a black person. He never taught me to harm anybody in the human race. Okay? So now you got this generation justifying black on black crime by saying we've been brainwashed, right? And then rapper David Banner had the nerve to justify us and compare us to a computer. Oh, well, he said, how the computer, you built the computer and it's working right. Then somebody goes in there and they tamper with it. It messes up the whole system. No. Everything I've ever done has been by choice. My grandfather probably rolling over in his grave right now. Yeah, y'all got y'all little Jordans and PlayStations and stuff like that, right? Y'all ain't even seen struggle. Y'all always talking about the struggle, but you ain't seen the struggle. Nor have I. Right? Look at these damn glasses. My grandfather ain't never touched a pair of glasses like these because they wasn't allowed to have stuff like this. They fought for us to better ourselves. Now, question, David Banner. If the white man went and put a glitch in the matrix, as you say, and you compared us to a computer, the matrix, what was Shaka Zulu's problem? I'm going to say again. This is before your time, my time. If the white man programmed the black man to murder one another, What was Shaka Zulu's problem? Goes back to what I'm saying. It's all by choice, designed by choice, right? I've never been taught that. And all the people that came before us that had those struggles, right? Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, it can go on, on and on and on, Harriet Tubman, all those people, they really, really fought for us to be the best we could be. And they never taught us to be hateful. See, they wasn't violent people. They could have been violent, right? Right? They were very intelligent. They had a lot of love in them, right? And then you youngsters, y'all run around and y'all talk about y'all nationalists or whatever. And you keep talking about a system. So if you got enough sense to know that they put a glitch in the matrix, then you got enough sense to stop doing what you're doing. I'm not going to make that excuse. Ain't no glitch in my matrix. Everything I've ever done, I did it wholeheartedly by choice because I had good influences in my life. I knew my history, and I still chose to do what I do. Now when I wake up, I don't choose to harm anyone. That's not my objective. I choose to go do successful things, right? And touch people and feed the homeless and things like that. But when you got guys talking senseless like that, right? And I ask this question, do you love yourself 100%? Because if you did, you wouldn't be slapping your sister, right? And then when somebody else do it, you get mad and go fight them because that ain't 100%. That's not 100%, right? I am slow to anger. I am slow to anger now because anger is connected to impulsivity. Impulsivity is a negative energy, right? It is a negative energy because you don't slow down, right? And what happens is when you're impulsive and you just say things or do things, it gets this tumbling effect. So I'm sitting here and here come your negative energy, just like David Banner. You just bumping your gums off of impulsivity and that negative just rolled and I attach myself to it. It's what this show is about, right? And so we have to be aware of those tumbleweeds that come past us, right? It was a guy, I won't say his name. He used the N-word. And I asked him not to use the N-word. I said, could you please not use that word, And he said, oh, my N, I got black friends. I almost got mad. However, I didn't. Because if I would have got mad, I'd attach myself to that tumbleweed effect and the ball would have just got bigger, 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 and bigger, and bigger. Boom. Then I would have exploded, possibly ended up in jail or whatever the case is. So about 4 days later, I see him. And he said he got beat beyond recognition. He was beat beyond recognition. And the only thing I could think of is, had I attached myself to that, I probably would have been sitting in jail. However, since I didn't, his tumbleweed effect just kept on rolling and got bigger and bigger and bigger until the laws of attraction attracted something negative. And he got beat beyond recognition because of the tumbleweed effect and negative energy. Conversation. Negative conversations, right? Negative doctrines. Negative justifications. How do you justify a black man killing a black man and saying it's all right because we've been conditioned to do that? No, he wasn't. Or yeah, we were. But we wasn't conditioned to do it by the white person. I have to say that. We were conditioned to do it by our own hands, our own choice making, right? Our own choice making. You got Crips and Bloods down here in South Central LA. And it's a choice thing. You chose to be a follower. Because I got friends to this day that didn't get caught up in the tumbleweed effect. I had a friend when I was growing up, lived in a garage growing up. And he was around gang culture. And he had it harder than everybody else on the block. And he is the most successful out of everybody on the block. He drives for the MTA buses. He has property. He takes care of his children. His daughter just graduated with honors. His daughter just graduated with honors. So David Banner, why didn't he fall victim to the Matrix? He lived in a garage around gang culture all his life. Barely had food. Oh, what about my grandfather? He picked cotton. He never used the N-word a day in his life. Why didn't he fall victim to the glitch in the Matrix? Right? Our grandparents didn't raise us this way. Y'all ought to be ashamed of yourselves. Making up some ridiculous school of thought. And with that said, this has been Carl Brick 73 Live. Night Talk. I hope I said something that can enlighten you. That tumbleweed effect, stay away from it. But if it's a tumbleweed effect toward positive, it can work positive energy, come past you, you attach yourself to it. Right? Oh, also shout out to Compton LC. See you in the studio this weekend. Yeah, we're going to be up in the studio. Yeah. Right? Dropping some science up in the studio and do some filming and dropping some bars or whatever. Right? Then also I'll display some of my other talents that I have that some of my fans didn't know I had. Right? Some people didn't know I had. It's time. The becoming a Billy. It's time. Right? And I'm linked up with the right people. Like I say again, shout out to Compton LC. Don't fall victim to the tumbleweed effect for negative, but positive. Let's keep growing, bro.